it's your girl Shinta Brown, and today we are going to discuss how to interview correctly. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's jump right in. Step number one, which is very important. You want to know about the company, you want to know where you're going, who you're interviewing with. Distance is very important because you want to get there at least 15 minutes before scheduled time. And so they can see that you're someone who comes in a timely manner. They don't want to just hire somebody that's always going to show up late. That's number one. Research the company. Find out everything you can, because that might be a question, during your interview. They may want to know what made you decide to work for this company, what attracted you. Those are some of the questions that they ask. So definitely research the company. Research who's going to interview you. And how you can do that is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is awesome. A lot of people, a lot of businesses use it. And then step number two, I would say, is appearance. When you're going in for that interview, after you've done all your research, how you come into that office is very important. For example, again, I'm in HR. I have people come into the office with cut-up jeans, stuff on their head. I work in healthcare, so people come into these home care agencies with rollers on their heads, ripped up jeans, holes in their shirts. Really? That's a big no-no. Whether it's a home care agency, whether it's freaking Amazon or billion-dollar company, whatever it is, you want to dress to the T. And if you're confused about dressing, always ask either the recruiter, the HR person, what is the environment there? Like, how do they want you to dress? That's always a good question. No question is a dumb question, because it's better for you to find out all the things that you need to do to have a successful interview than one to fall on the wayside because of your appearance. So sometimes if a company says, oh, we're business casual, go in with your dress pants and like a slacks or something with a nice shirt. Always make sure that your clothes are ironed, your hair is combed, brushed, straightened, whatever, styled nicely or pulled back. Earrings aren't too much of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Something settled, not something that's so dramatic and loud that they would just pay attention to your earrings. The third thing I would say is mannerism. Your mannerism is very important. How you speak, how you, do your eye contact. Now, eye contact is very important, especially with me when I'm interviewing someone. I can't stand when people are like looking around and don't want to look at me. The only thing is, some cultures, it's out of respect for them not to look at you. So you have to be aware of, the person's background. Even if you're not having eye contact, make them feel like you're engaging, that you're there and you're interested in the conversation and you want to work here. You love what the company brings and what the person has to say. Smile. Smiling is important. Don't go in there looking like no one wants a grumpy person, because this is a company that you're going to work for. Working outside of being at home, it's another home for you, right? Because you're there for 8 hours out of the day, and then you go home for another X amount of time. So that's like your second home. So these people are going to have to look at you on a day-to-day. So nobody wants to look at a grumpy person all the time. So go in there with a smiley presentation. You can be bubbly, but again, know the company that you're working for, because too bubbly can be a problem. Just try to be balanced, but also a little like, what is she thinking? Okay? And then the last one I would say, which is number 4, after, they told you about the company, after, you've learned everything and they asked you a couple of questions, they're going to ask you, so do you have any questions for them? That's when your engaging comes in. That's when you ask them a couple of questions, like, what are your benefits like? Or you have to ask a question. question. Do not leave there without asking a question. Even if it's the simplest thing, what is the times that, this will start from? Even though you want to ask a question because that makes you look like, yes, you're really interested. The benefits, when do they want to start this role? How far do they think this is? Is there room for growth? Is there opportunity to move up the ladder? Are you find out, ask these type of questions, which would be very helpful. So I'm going to give a little story behind this of why I'm doing this. Whilst I was interviewing a couple of people, I realized that some of them look around in the other room. They come in with outfits that doesn't need to be. And no, it does not. It's not acceptable. And I felt like, sometimes some people really don't know how to interview correctly or what to wear and things like that. Lucky for me, I had parents that taught me. And then also because of the type of person that I am, being in HR and communications and all these other things, I was exposed to correct ways of interviewing and things like that in the earlier part of my life. So I said, let me help the up and coming, or even those people who, have been in the work field for so long, but then maybe, they're out in the market now and don't know how to get back into it. Also, it's very important because one girl, I'm not going to mention any names of the company I was working for or anything like that, but one girl really disturbed me because she came in, filled out an application. She wasn't dressed really bad, but what she even put on her application was quite disturbing. References. My man, my father. Who is your man? Who is your father? Do they not have names? Please, people, when you are filling out applications, if you're going to put a family member as a reference, please specify the family member's name. Don't put my man, my father. Who is my man? It's not my man. Don't put your man. Put the person's name. And if you're going to use them, you have to have a real reason of why you're using that type of person, because they're going to call. They're going to do a check. So what did your man do for you that you're using him as a reference for your business? References are serious because they can make you or break you. If you're going to choose your friend to do your reference, please. You know what? I'm going to get really into that in another episode because I feel like references and how to apply correctly is very important because I see a lot of mess out there and I want to help. I think it's very important too. And I want to leave you with this message. Life at times can be a bit hard. It can be a bit frustrating, especially when you're juggling a lot of things. And you may have been applying for a job and going for interviews, from interviews to interviews, and it can be annoying and also draining. But I want you to know that what is meant for you is for you. And if a job says no, one door will say yes, and one door will open. And that door that opens may be that blessing. So until then, take care and God bless. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Thanks.